What's going on, folks? Welcome back to D-Life HD. This is Victor, and today we're going to be taking a look at my personal top 5 Wii games I would like to see come over to the Nintendo Switch. So without any further delay, let's jump right into it.
Switch it up. Switch it up. I was a worker, had to upgrade to a boss. I had to switch it up. Used to live in the hood, but had to upgrade to a loft. I had to switch it up.
If we take a look at Metacritic's top Wii games ranked list, there is quite a few of them that have already come over to the Nintendo Switch. Like Mario Galaxy at number 1, we have that. At number 4, we have World of Goo, that has come over. Number 6, Skyward Sword, we talked about that, that's come over. At number 8, Xenoblade Chronicles, that is also on the Nintendo Switch. 12, Resident Evil 4, also on the Nintendo Switch. Okami, we got Cave Story on the Switch. Just a lot of different great games that were on the Wii have already come over to the system. I can think of a couple others, like we also have all of the No More Heroes games. Those came over as well in HD, so obviously porting Wii games over to the Switch works. Because of the gyro and the motion controls working and going over, it feels right being on the system. If you saw my Super Mario 3D All-Stars review, I talked about how Galaxy works really well on the system. Also, if you watch the recent Skyward Sword review that I put out, that also transfers over relatively well. And it got me thinking, well, what other games from the Wii that I really enjoyed would be great on the system? So coming in at number 5 is the Wii game Punch-Out! Now, Punch-Out! Was a classic arcade and NES title, but they eventually brought over a Punch-Out! Game to the Wii, and I actually really liked this one a lot. It's not super long, but the original game is not long either, and it works really, really well. Now, the motion controls are the central feature of this game, and motion controls on Switch work really well because, think about ARMS. ARMS is a boxing-like game, and the motion controls for that actually work extremely flush and accurate. And so I think that transferring over Punch-Out! To the Switch console from the Wii, put it in HD, it would be a great experience because the game, its graphics are already stylistic and they look great on the Wii. And so bringing it over to the Switch in HD, I think is a no-brainer, and it is one that would be a lot of fun, especially because it has multiplayer functions. Coming in at number 4 is the Metroid Prime Trilogy. Now, I feel a little bit weird putting this one on the list because I personally have never beaten a Metroid Prime game. I've started 1 and 2 and not gotten super far, but I'm interested in playing these games. I really enjoy playing the multiplayer on the second game, and that is featured in the trilogy as well. We saw the trilogy on Wii, it also came over to the Wii U on Virtual Console, and so the motion controls work with this game. There's also the fact that 1 and 2 originally were released on GameCube, and so they work for button controls as well. With Metroid Prime 4 coming up, I know a lot of people are wanting the trilogy on the Switch, and bringing it up to HD would be amazing. Especially, like I mentioned, considering that multiplayer function in the second game is so much fun, and I think it would make great for couch co-op on the Nintendo Switch system. Obviously, the gyro would work well with the controllers, but as I mentioned previously, if somebody wanted to use a Pro controller, the button controls would also be present. I think this is something that we'll see in Metroid Prime 4 as well, that being button or motion controls depending on what you favor. I have a feeling that Metroid Prime Trilogy is the most likely game to get ported over to the system out of all of the ones that I have here. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. Would you like the trilogy to come over? I think it's time that I finally get my hands on it and play through it. Coming in at number 3, I have Kirby's Epic Yarn. Now this slot, I struggled to choose whether or not I wanted Kirby's Epic Yarn or Wario Land Shake It, because they're both great side-scrolling, sort of like odd type games. They're not really in a typical Nintendo style, Wario Land is very true to the original Wario Land games and has so much character built into it. And then Kirby's Epic Yarn started sort of this cutesy craft-like thing that we would see later in the Yoshi games, that one of which being Yoshi's Crafted World, which is on the system. And I think Kirby's Epic Yarn is an amazing game and has fantastic multiplayer. So I chose that one over Wario Land Shake It. Also, because Wario Land Shake It is in 4x3 for some reason. I think it was originally supposed to be a GameCube game, so I felt a little bit weird including it on the list. So it didn't make the cut, but it is also a great game. Kirby's Epic Yarn, though. I played this game so much with my older brother. It's got fantastic gameplay. I mean, it's not extremely difficult, but it has so much unique flavor to it in all the locales that you go to, and all of the collecting of the items to fill up in your room. It's just a great experience. And they did bring this to the Nintendo 3DS, which is really weird, and from what most people say, that version of the game is not very good. So I'd like a really well put together version of it to come to the Nintendo Switch in HD, because I think that would make for great multiplayer and overall a fantastic experience playing Kirby's Epic Yarn on the Nintendo Switch system. Coming in at number 2 is Wii Sports Resort. Wii Sports was a great game. It was a pack-in game though, and it wasn't very fleshed out. But Wii Sports really rounded out the content, and it being a sequel to the original Wii Sports game. If you have never got the chance to play Wii Sports Resort, you need to go out and buy a Wii and pick this game up, because it is amazing. There's so many different things to do. The atmosphere of the game is set on this sort of resort tropical island that you're on, and like there's so much to do. You can bike, you can you can do archery, you can bowl. It's just, there's a lot of awesome things in this game, and honestly it is probably my favorite multiplayer game I have ever played. Probably outside of Monster Hunter, but you know what I mean. Also, there's a really fun basketball mode in the game. That is something that I remember playing a lot, and I would love to be able to have that on the Switch system and get a chance to really experience those pickup games again. And they also have this mode where you are in an airplane and you literally just fly around the island. It's sort of an open world thing, and you collect these little information blips that tell you about the different locales throughout the island. There's so much content there alone that they went off and made a huge revamped version of it for the Nintendo 3DS with Pilot Wings, which was a game on there. I would love to see Wii Sports come to the Switch, or I would like to see a Wii Sports new entry in the franchise. That would be awesome as well, but Resort is a great game, and it is something that deserves to be played by many more people. Alright, coming in at number 1 is sort of a no-brainer here. It's something that I was very disappointed to not see on the 3D All-Star Collection, and that is Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now, Mario Galaxy 1 I've played through a couple times, but Galaxy 2 I've only played through once, and it was quite a while ago, and I am ready to replay it. I wish they had released this as like a paid DLC for the 3D All-Stars, or just had it on there, or put it on the eShop for $20. But Mario Galaxy works super well in HD, and with the gyro controls of the Switch, that I think that Galaxy 2 should be on the console, and the fact that it isn't sort of aggravates me. We have to see Galaxy 2 come over to the system at some point. It's just gotta happen. And if it doesn't, I'm gonna be pretty frustrated. But there's always the option of playing it on Virtual Console on the Wii U. But you know, the Switch is a little more convenient to play, so I prefer it there. Alright guys, that wraps up my top 5 Wii games I would like to see come to the Nintendo Switch. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this video. We love talking to you guys. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like these. Lastly, check out our Twitter account for gameplay of the latest releases. But most importantly of all, remember to always stay 1-up.